we call that investments in subsidiaries or consolidated investment. Yeah, and we're talking about more than 50%, then investments in subsidiaries, or it's also called consolidated. Yeah. Consolidated investments. When we're talking about the first group, financial assets, where the ownership position is less than 20%, we have three different sub categories: amortized costs, fair value through other comprehensive income, and fair value through profit and loss. Yeah. And we will talk about that soon. But generally, for financial assets where the ownership is less than 20%, the owner does not play a large any role in operations. Yeah, here the owner cannot influence the management of the investee company. Yeah, because the ownership stake is actually just too small. Yeah. What's the holding period here for financial assets? Typically, it's short term. Yeah, may also be long term, but typically it's short term. Investments in associates. Here we have 20 to 50% ownership, and the influence is larger. Yeah, why? Because the investor company typically has one board member, and the board member has a saying. Yeah, it can the board member, he can influence the operating policy, the dividend policy, financial policies, all these kinds of things. So the investor company has some influence here. Yeah, so these are typically more long-term investments. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Yeah, if you think about a company that owns, let's say 30% of another company, this investment is typically long-term. Yeah, you don't buy 30% of the shares of a company and then sell it after a couple of months. Yeah, instead it's mostly a long-term strategic position. Yeah, the last category on the right side, investments in subsidiaries. Here the investor company can actually control the investee company. Yeah, this is called a subsidiary, and the investor company can control the investee company. Do you remember what control means?